Chapter 1. The chandelier sparkled, capturing Jamie's eye and her heart. Each individual crystal had been cleaned until they shimmered, and any missing pieces had been meticulously replaced, so that the grand fixture dazzled. The renovations in the ballroom had come out even better than she had hoped. Now, if the night before her would just turn out the same.
Hello there. Miss Sharpe, I presume?
Jamie spun to see who could be addressing her. She knew the voice, but it was impossible. She lit up to see that it was Grandpa Ben, standing resplendent in a sharp black tuxedo with a mischievous twinkle in his eye.
Grandpa! Wow!
She gave him a fierce hug.
I didn't think you were going to be able to make it tonight. What happened? How are you here?
Oh, your grandmother and I were able to make a few rearrangements to our schedule last minute.
He winked.
Nothing too troublesome.
She smiled suspiciously.
You two were planning to come all along, weren't you? You just wanted to make it a surprise.
He raised his hands.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
She looked about for Grandma Lisa.
Where's your other half, then?
I'm afraid she had to avail herself of the facilities, but she'll be over shortly. In the meanwhile, would you care to dance, milady?
Jamie grinned, curtsying.
But of course. Thank you, fine sir.
He swept her onto the ballroom floor, perhaps a bit unsteadily. But he had more vitality left in him at 82 than most men could boast at half his age.
Your grandmother and I are so proud of you, Jamie dear.
He smiled, twirling her in time to the music.
After everything that happened with your uncle last year, we thought this hotel might finally go under. He did the right thing, leaving the Terrowin to you. I know it's going to be a long road ahead, getting this place renovated, but you've already done so much in just a few weeks' time. How are you, adjusting to it all?
Jamie sighed.
I'm happier than I can say to be here, Grandpa. Braddock is beautiful.
She smiled.
Not to mention warmer. Minnesota is always miserable this time of year, and the Terrowin is beautiful, even if it could use a bit of sprucing up. The architecture is still as regal as ever, and I love the historical charm. They don't make hotels with quite the sense of grandeur nowadays that they used to.
He nodded.
I'm glad to hear you think so. We had plenty of folk telling us to modernize the place, even back in my day, but I think it'd be a crying shame.
His eyes began getting a bit misty.
Do you know that you'll be the 5th generation of Sharpes to have owned this place?
She found herself getting a bit choked up as well.
It's hard to believe, isn't it?
He dashed gently at his eyes as he spun her again.
It is.
Grandpa,
Jamie hesitated.
I don't mean to sound ungrateful, but do you know why Uncle Leonard left this place to me? I mean, of course I loved him, and I've loved the Terrowin since the first time I laid eyes on it. It's just, I don't know. I was never that close with him. Why wouldn't he have picked any of the other cousins? I mean, what about his own sons? Mom and Dad never even brought us to visit much. So, why me?
Grandpa Ben considered her a moment, brows wrinkling as his mouth worked silently before finally speaking.
You know, that's a difficult question, Jamie dear. Your Uncle Leonard was a mysterious man. Had to be, to own this place.
He chuckled.
But he had a profound respect for the history behind this hotel and a passion for preserving its secrets. I think he saw the same thing in you. The Terrowin was never just a means to an end with Leonard. Not a real estate asset or the source of his paycheck each month, but an ancient relic from the past, bursting with stories of bygone days and bygone treasures. He must have trusted you to treat it with the dignity he felt it deserved.
Jamie raised an eyebrow.
Secrets and bygone treasures, Grandpa?
More than you would care to know, my dear. It'll come. In time.
Grandpa Ben gave his head a little shake.
And as for Leonard's boys, well, not everybody in the Sharpe family has the same values and work ethics, my dear.
The song came to a climactic ending, and Grandpa Ben led her over to where Grandma Lisa was waiting, smiling for them.
Grandma!
Jamie gave her an enormous hug.
You two tricked me into thinking you couldn't come, she accused.
Did we? Sounds awfully inconsiderate of us.
She winked. Jamie shook her head, laughing.
Well, it's amazing to see you all the same.
You've done an incredible job in here, though, Jamie.
Grandma Lisa marveled.
And you couldn't ask for better timing. A grand reopening ball just in time for the new year? I wouldn't have thought of it myself, but you've attracted quite a crowd here.
Thanks, Grandma.
Jamie surveyed the room, noting the stream of people continuing to fill the space as the night progressed.
This is a better turnout than I'd hoped for.
There is just something about hotels. They make people feel like they can be anybody they want to be for a moment in time. Do you mean to renovate the rest of the Terrowin as sumptuously as you've managed here in the ballroom?
Grandma Lisa asked. Jamie sighed.
I'd certainly like to restore as much of it as I can, but if I'm being entirely honest, I've blown most of my budget already just working in here. I'm going to have to try and save a while and see what starts coming in over the next few months before I make any other real plans.
Grandpa Ben nodded knowingly.
There's always one more thing when it comes to running a hotel.
I normally wouldn't have chosen to start somewhere superfluous like the ballroom, but I didn't have much choice. My option was to fix it now or lose it forever.
Well, it made for a fine reopening.
Grandma Lisa nodded. Just then, another elderly gentleman came over to interrupt.
Excuse me, miss. Could I have the honor of the next dance?
Jamie looked regretfully back at Grandma and Grandpa Sharpe, but they both shooed her away, smiling.
Of course!
Jamie managed, though she'd have rather continued talking with her grandparents.
The name's Clay Chambers.
The stranger introduced himself.
Am I to understand that you're the new owner of the Terrowin Hotel?
Yes, actually,
Jamie said, surprised.
but I'm from out of state. I didn't expect many people here tonight to recognize me. Did you know my Uncle Leonard then?
Unfortunately, I did not. I'm from out of state myself. The lady in blue over by the door told me you'd recently acquired the hotel as an inheritance, and I thought I'd introduce myself as I've come to stay a few weeks here at the Terrowin after tonight's affair.
Oh, have you now? Lovely! I was hoping to open in time for some of my guests to spend a few vacation days here in Braddock. What brings you to Virginia this time of year?
His eyes glinted at the question.
Well, now that's a tricky question, Miss Sharpe. It was Miss Sharpe, correct?
Jamie is just fine,
She said.
A tricky question then, Jamie. I've been retired a few years now, but a fellow discovers rather more quickly than he'd like after undertaking such an endeavor that retirement can be solidly boring after all the hype about it. It may be a dream for some, but I wasn't suited for it myself. The missus passed a few years after I'd stopped working. One thing led to another, and a friend of mine happened to tell me one day that he'd been dabbling as a treasure hunter.
Really? That sounds interesting.
It was, especially to a retired old codger looking for ways to invest his time. So I jumped in after him, full steam ahead, and I've never looked back a day after that.
You're telling me you spend your days searching for lost treasures? How does one go about such a thing?
He smiled.
Oh, there are more places to begin these hunts than you might expect. And plenty of books hiding more than you'd guess in private libraries across this country, if you've only the right connections to search them out.
And you're hoping to find some kind of start here in Braddock?
I am.
He gleamed. Clay twirled her just as they reached the center of the room, but Jamie heard an ominous cracking noise directly overhead mid-spin. She jerked her head up just in time to see the enormous crystal chandelier above beginning to buckle and give way. She screamed, terrified and frozen in place, as it broke free and came crashing down, heading directly toward her head.